view on the of the screens. A very warm welcome to all our esteemed guests, Lions, non-Lions, friends, family from all over the globe. It's a very, very good afternoon right here in Mumbai, where I am here, your host and host, Lion Rishi Oberoi. And today, on the 7th episode of Roar with Rishi, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. And it's a very, very good evening in Sydney. And that is because we have a very special guest on our show today. Roar with Rishi was a concept which was started about 2 months ago. And the distinguished panel of esteemed Lions that we have, you see on the screens right now, they are all legendary Lion leaders who have done so much for the community and for the nation. We have with us Lion Rupesh Mehta, President of Lions Club of Mankhurd. It was entirely his idea that we should have a Lions image building program like this, where we invite legendary Lion leaders from all over the globe who have done so much, and we can all, as young Lions, learn so much from all of them. Thank you, Rupesh, for joining us today. And it was after that we had our senior advisor, Lion Surinder Sharma ji, PDG, who was the past district governor in 2002-03 of Lions Club of Chembur, who gave us the roadmap how exactly we should be doing this entire series. Thank you, sir, for your motivation and guidance. And we had our respected past district governor, Lion Maneshwar Nayaji of Lions Club of Mankhurd, who then motivated and guided us to be able to invite leaders and learn so much from them. Thank you, respected Lion Maneshwar, sir, for always helping and always being there for all of us. We started this program. I was very, very keen with the blessings of our beloved district governor, dynamic Lion Rakesh Chaumalji. And on the 26th of August, it was our pleasure that he inaugurated it by his worthy hands. And what a flying start it was with the best motivator we have in Lionism today, past international director, Lion AP Singh sir, who was the inaugural guest on our show on the 26th. And today we have him again joining us as a special invitee. Thank you so much, sir. Extremely grateful for your precious time. And of course, we're all here because we want to hear the legendary Lion all the way from Sydney, Australia, past international president, Lion Barry J. Palmer. Sir, absolute honor for us to have somebody like a personality like you on our show. I'm sure your fans, I'm calling them fans all over the globe, are waiting to be able to hear your words of wisdom. You've been so active on Facebook, and extremely grateful to you for your presence today. May I now request our respected district governor, Lion Rakesh Chaumalji, to formally welcome our esteemed guest on the show.
Thank you, Rishi. Good afternoon to all the viewers. At the outset, many congratulations, Rishi and Rupesh. Roar with Rishi has become a household name, not only in our district, but globally too. I congratulate both of you for this wonderful initiative during this troubled times. The Lions of our district wait with bated breath for the next episode. Kudos to you. Keep the momentum going. It's my proud privilege and pleasure to welcome International President 2013-14, a much-loved iconic persona across the globe, Lion Barry Palmer, and the towering personality respected worldwide, International Director 2004-06, Lion AP Singh ji. My sincere gratitude to both of you, sir, both the international leaders of Lionism, for accepting our invitation and being with us today. In a few minutes from now, they are going to take the center stage and regale us with their profound knowledge of Lionism. Friends, as you all are aware, that October Service Week is in full swing, and it's at its zenith at this moment, and we have 3 more days to go for its conclusion and the celebration thereafter. It is said, where there is a challenge, there is inspiration. In this tiring and challenging period of COVID-19 pandemic, the club leaders and Lion members have paid their debt to the society as humans for humanity by going out in the open to serve the community. I applaud their extraordinary efforts and would like to convey my sincere appreciation from here. With these words, I once again welcome you all to this episode of Roar with Rishi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Governor sir, for joining us in this very special episode and welcoming our guest. May I now request our respected past district governor and our advisor for the show, Lion Manishwan Naik ji, to kindly give his blessings.
Thank you, Rishi and Rupesh. Today I am here to listen, not to speak. I endorse whatever my governor Rakesh said, and Roar with Rishi has become, as he said, it has become a household name. I have seen many of the things. It is said, necessity is the mother of invention. Because of this pandemic, the world has become closer and smaller because of these virtual meetings. And we are very happy that today, persons like our PIP, Barry Palmer, and AP Singh ji are here. I am very, very happy. I congratulate Rishi and Rupesh for having arranged this and for having invited me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful words and your blessings. Always a pleasure to hear you. And dear Lion friends and from all over the world, today we have two very exemplary Lion leaders. If you talk of cricket, if you talk about the legends of cricket, and if I ask you to name two of the most famous names and legends of cricket, one is from Australia and the other is from India. That's Sir Don Bradman and our very own Sachin Tendulkar. And today, when you talk of Lionism, and if I need to name two legends of Lionism, one from Australia and one from India, it is our honor and a pleasure that we have the legendary past international president, Lion Barry Palmer, and from India, we have past international director, Lion AP Singh. So the friendship and the affection of the two countries continues today, and I'm so happy that two friends who are in Lionism are here to able to guide us and teach us so much in the course of the program today. Of course, we also have Virat Kohli in the form of our district governor, and he's not to be left behind. so the match is on, the game is on, if I may say so. Dear Lions, Australia is a country which has rich natural beauty. It boasts of world-class cities. It is home to the outback. It has unusual wildlife, and it has a very special lion, the one and only legendary lion leader, PIP, Lion Barry J. Palmer. If I may introduce him, his legendary work is in fantastic work, all that is done in the past 44 years in his lionistic journey. Lion Barry J. Palmer was elected president of the Lions Club International at the association's 96th International Convention held in Hamburg, Germany, July 5th through 9th, 2013. Past President Palmer was a real estate company director. A member of the Hornsby Lions Club since 1976, he has held many offices within the association, being club president, zone chairperson, cabinet secretary, cabinet treasurer, and district governor. He has served on numerous committees and as a host committee chairperson for 2010 Lions Club International Convention in Sydney, Australia. In recognition of his services to the association, past President Palmer has received many awards, including the 100% Club President's Award, the 100% District Governor's Award, 9 International President's Medal, and the Ambassador of Goodwill Award, the highest honor the association bestows upon its members. He is also Progressive Melville Jones Fellow. In addition to his Lionistic achievements, past President Palmer is a recipient of the Australian Medal, which is the second highest civilian honor equivalent to the Bharat Ratna in India today, issued by the Australian government, the Australian Childhood Cancer Research Award, and the Spastic Center of New South Wales Award. He's a pioneer volunteer. He was a pioneer volunteer in the Sydney Olympics and a member of this New South Wales Para-Olympic Committee. Past President Palmer and his wife Anne, also a Lion and a Progressive Melville Jones Fellow, have 3 children and 8 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, past International President Lion Palmer is the kind of lion who inspires lions worldwide. He is a line of lions who makes dreams come true. He's a visionary, he's a motivator, and he's somebody who's loved by millions of fans all over the world. It is my honor and a pleasure to welcome before you our special guest for today, Lion Barry J. Palmer. Sir.
Thank you, Lion Rishi.
Thank you. And we've and of course, Lion AP Singh sir is also the recipient of the Ambassador of Goodwill. He's done so much for all of us in as representative of India, the Lions internationally. He's been various on the board of committees for the past 15 years, and he's also the third international president endorsee. And we wish him all the luck for leading our country in the journey of service to the community very soon. Sir, today we're going to have a different format for the interview. They say a picture speaks 1,000 words. So our research team of Lions has been going through an inspiring journey for the past few weeks. And we have requested our team of Lions. So we're going to show pictures to you. And we hope you like those pictures. I'm going to remind you of a few beautiful memories. And then we proceed from there. It was, I think, somewhere in the year 1978. May I request our fellow Lions to kindly share the first beautiful picture. In 1976, something magical happened, and Lion like Barry Palmer was in the process of selling cakes, or he was in the bakery industry, and then something happened. Can I have the picture from our technical team? Can we spray Sheen? It's a very interesting picture, and extremely happy to be able to show our team what exactly happened in 1976. Sir, the traditional Christmas cake, Lions traditional Christmas cake, and this is how your journey in Lionism started in 1976. So please explain about it, sir.
The Christmas cake program is a fundraiser run during November and December, and we sell these cakes. Clubs, districts, and the multiple district all make a share of the profit. The recipe of the cake is owned by Lions, so nobody can copy it anywhere else. It's a program that's been going for over 50 years and is raised in the, last time I checked, I think it was about $50 million for activities. I was running a retail business at the time, and people kept asking for this Christmas cake, which I didn't know anything about. And I finally tracked it down to the local Lions Club. I took 20 cartons of it. They said to me, you don't make any money out of this. I said, no, I don't, but people are asking for it and then I'll bring them into the business. So they did, and we sold the 20 cartons, and the club was amazed. So they invited me along to say thank you for doing that, and supposedly to present me with a certificate of appreciation, but what it was actually was an application to join Lions. So I signed the application, and that's how I became a Lion.
Wow, what an inspiring story. I mean, how you can associate yourself with the community and become part of something, a legendary service organization like this. Of course, we went on to help many officers, club president and district governor, and we have this very interesting episode, sir, where during your visits to one of the clubs as part of your duty as district governor, something very interesting happened which changed the course of your life. If I may request my Lion friends to kindly share the pic which changed the life of Lion Barry Palmer. Sir, nobody can forget the Heart Worker program in Australia. It is something which is associated with you for long. Please explain this program, sir.
No, that's true. I was visiting the club. I wasn't there an official as a district governor. I was supposedly to be at my own club visiting, welcoming a group of German Lions who were visiting my club. But the president of this club, she was a dynamic lady, and she insisted that I come to meet and say thank you to the club for this project that they got involved with. So I said I would come on the condition that I could do the presentation first and then leave and get back to my own club and perhaps see the end of the visit of these German Lions. What I noticed then was that they brought in a wheelchair at the far end of the room and a young girl in that wheelchair. And they took her out of the wheelchair and laid her on the floor and fitted her to this walker. And she was upright, and then she started to walk towards me. And as she came down the aisle towards me, my mouth dropped, and I looked and I said, well, what just happened? And the president said, well, she's just come back from London being fitted with this walker, so that's going to enable her now to walk. And strange enough, that girl was about I don't know, 7 or 8 years old. I met her again 2 years ago at a convention. She was a young woman in her 20s and studying at university. And from that day, when I introduced the project to Lions, we now have over 1,500 children that can walk because of that little walker. It's a very special walker. It's very for the worst cases. But yeah, it's called the Heart Walker, and they retail now for about $12,000 each in Australian dollars. So they're very expensive. They're very well engineered. Many people said to me, oh, we can get engineers to build them cheaper, but they couldn't. They all thought this was a very simple machine, and it is basically, but it's also very ingenious the way this doctor has put this together with pulleys and ropes and special shoes. So it brought many tears to many eyes when they saw those children walk. And I think probably the most inspiring one I saw was a young boy when he was fitted, and he wouldn't walk. He just refused to move. And the parents had bought him a little dog, a puppy. And when he wouldn't move, they went out and got the puppy, and the boy didn't know about it. And they brought him in through the doorway. And as soon as the boy saw the puppy, he walked across to his dog, because his father said, you have to come and get your dog. Wow. So he walked across the room and got his dog and cuddled him. And many lions, old lions, had tears in their eyes that day, and many other occasions like that. So yeah, that's a special project to me.
Thank you, sir, for wonderful sharing. The Australian Children's Mobility Foundation is now one of the pioneers foundation which takes care of disadvantaged children, and it is the vision of Lion Barry Palmer, sir, which has transformed and changed the lives of so many children worldwide. You're talking about the cost of this machine, sir. We in India have a lot of, we call it jugaad. If I can explain that to you in technology-wise, a little very tech-savvy. We had a machine, a robotic arm a few years ago, one of our members sponsored. It cost about 3 lakh rupees. And it was a robotic arm. Right now, just a few months ago, we came to know of somebody in India, in Ali. Our district governor, sir, sent this video to me about 2 weeks ago in Ali Foundation. There is somebody in India who makes an arm for people who lost their hands at the cost of only rupees 11,000. So 11,000 and 2.5 lakh rupees is the cost, that almost at 1/10 of the cost. So if you can just, I'm going to search the net now, and I'm going to send it to this person, and I'm sure the cost of this particular machine, give me a few months time, and we definitely get back to you, sir, with whatever best results we can work on this. This is my promise to you. By 1st of January 2021, we're going to have a prototype, which I hope will be much more useful and cost effective than the one we have right now, so that we can serve as many children as possible. Fantastic, sir.
Good.
Thank you so much. Can I request my Lions friends to share another very interesting image from the illustrious life of Sir Barry Palmer? Governor, sir.
Rishi, I would like to ask PIP Barry, sir. As I've mentioned in my welcome remarks, we are observing October Service Week in our district, and today, 7th October, was dedicated for childhood cancer awareness and support. Sir, we know that you have done remarkable work in Australia for this cause. I request you to kindly guide our viewers what best we can do to help these children, and also please explain us what kind of an initiative you have taken, which will help us follow your examples.
The initiative we have taken is mainly in the research field, as to why do these children relapse and how do they get the cancer in the first place, and a lot of work and a lot of money has been spent on research. But in different parts of the world, that's not possible. And there are many other programs involving families, the transportation of the children. For example, in Africa, there's a Lions project where they pick up the family and take them to the hospital because they have no means of transportation. The children can't walk, they're too ill. So the Lions take them to the hospital, they look after them while the treatment's going on, and they take them back home. So there are many different ways that you can look at, even down to visiting the children in hospital and having fun and trying to brighten up the day of these children as they're in their hospital beds. But here it's been research, and genomics is the new thing that Lions International Foundation did give us a grant of $2 million US several years ago when we set up the program to look at the research at the Garvan Institute in Sydney, and they work with children's hospitals all around the world. And what they're doing is feeding in the information from all these parts of the world, so that if a child in, say, Mumbai develops a childhood cancer of a certain type, they can come to the centre and say, these are the symptoms, this is what we're doing, what is the best treatment? So the clinicians then have a database of treatments that have been done and been successful. In the past, there's been no drugs for childhood cancer. They're adult drugs because there's not enough children with cancer, sad to say, that for the drug companies to invest the money into the research in the drugs. So they just use adult drugs and in a lesser amount. So it was all hit and miss. Now we have a targeted approach, and you get a certain growth in the brain at a certain type. They can then target that. We've just had a boy in Sydney was saved from a child in Texas.
Wow.
Where they had the same thing, and they were able to go in, see what this boy had, matched it up, what was the treatment, it was successful, and then targeted the treatment to the child. So all around the world, this is starting to develop, and it all started from a project I set up some 20 years ago. So it's been a great journey, and not in India, in Africa, for example, 2 out of 10 children survive, where in the Western world, 8 out of 10 survive. So we're now working through a hospital in Texas with a project in Africa to develop and improve the life expectancy of the children that get these diseases in Africa.
Beautiful, so beautiful. I mean, there are institutes here, even in India, which do
Yes.
accommodation, nutrition, and other socio-economic support to cancer patients, traveling, keeping them engaged, keeping the parents engaged. We have something like the Access Life Foundation here in Chembur, and they take care of about 60 families, 60 kids, and more than 350 children, cancer survivors, have been fortunate to be able to reside in the premises and then go back to their homes all over the country. And so I guess I've sent the message of our individual today. They'll be very happy to the kind of phenomenal work that you've started, and they're taking it further. So
very good.
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful sharing. May I request our Lion friends to share the next slide? And this is a question which is also important for Lions as well as non-Lions, for the new members who might want to join. After being the district governor, sir, you are one of the pioneers of leadership training around the world. A lot of people join Lionism for different reasons. Some join it because they want to serve the community. Some join for fellowship. I think leadership development is one of the key areas, and self-growth, personal growth. And this question is also to AP Singh, sir. If there are people, non-Lions, or viewers who are listening to this, why should I become a Lion member? Barry, sir, first here.
Why should I become a Lion member? I guess if I could relate it to myself, I became a Lion to make my community a better place. And I also looked at, as an individual, I could only do so much. But if I did join an organisation like Lions, then I could do so much more. And as I said to you earlier on, one of my prides, I guess, and joys is the 2 projects I was involved with setting up in India. And I mean, you couldn't do that unless you were in Lions. And if you've got a wish and a desire and a passion to make life better for other people, then you could do well by joining Lions.
Definitely. And Lion AP Singh, sir, if you may just
Most
focus
of
on
my
the
leadership, I learned from AP Singh, so you should listen to what he has to say.
that's so kind of you,
Thank you. Thank you for
sir.
the
From
opportunity.
from the perspective of personal growth, can you just throw light on how does being a lion change you as a person?
Okay, so you changed the question. That's fine. So, so you want my opinion on
That's
how,
the googly. If so, the
That's the
match is
googly.
drawn.
how does leadership development, how do leadership development programs help the Lions in their
Correct.
own personal development?
Correct.
You may have heard me earlier, and I have often repeated it. Perhaps I'll always keep repeating it, that the lessons I have learned from the experiences in this organization, I don't think those lessons could be learned by spending even hundreds of thousands of dollars in some of the best universities and the centers of excellence around the world. You see, today, the best places in the world, they are focused upon making the individuals who go and study, whether they study management at the highest levels, they are focused upon increasing their effectiveness. When we talk of increasing their effectiveness, it's essentially about working with teams, and with teams today which are global, where people are coming from different parts of the world, different cultures, different work habits, different, sometimes even different work ethics, different perspectives. Now, and it's very easily said, it's not so easily accomplished. But having worked with Lions and having really been part of some leadership training programs as well, and working with Lions in different parts of the world where people have different ways of looking at things, the ground realities are different, the needs are different, the the stature of the individuals who are members, the membership, the membership mix and demographics are so different, then you really get that experience of working with people, which is truly working with people who make up the whole world. And in doing so, those experiences are extremely, valuable. In fact, they are priceless. I mean, you just can't attach a price tag to it. And that's the advantage that the Lions can reap because of the membership of this organization and because of the leadership programs that we have. And I have personally benefited out of them. When you go and work at a leadership workshop, it's not only going delivering, it's also enriching oneself, gaining oneself. So I have personally benefited tremendously in having had the opportunities of working in leadership development programs with Lions across the world. And some of my biggest opportunities were given to me by PIP Barry Palmer. When he was coming in as the president, he allowed me the opportunity to speak to all the governors-elect 2 days, or was it, I think, 3 days, each of the days of the days of the DGE seminar at Hamburg. He allotted 30 minutes to me to speak to the entire group of the governors-elect, basically focused on his theme of follow your dream. I mean, and when I was going to talk to that global audience, it's a purely global. I mean, I don't know how much each one of them got, but I personally was enriched, tremendously enriched. So it's a very wonderful experience.
Fantastic. I was listening to so many great leaders, and somebody said Lionism is a journey of growth through service to the community. And as a young person who used to attend Lions conferences, that's something which struck me. So if you want personal growth as well, obviously you serve the community and that makes you happy, but you evolve as a human being, you evolve as a person, and that is what this organization offers you in terms of personal growth. Fantastic sharing, sir. May I request our Lion friends to have another great clip which will throw back a lot of memories, and we just talked about sir's theme, and it's something related to that. Yes, sir.
PIP, Barrister, the Follow Your Dream Foundation is doing tremendous work in Australia. And can you please share with our viewers more about this foundation and its work, please?
I can do that, but I'll preface it by saying I don't have anything to do with this foundation anymore. I've never believed in hanging on to positions, and we set it up and got it running I achieved what I wanted to achieve, and then I handed over. But this foundation was set up to assist and help disadvantaged women and children within Australia. And we did one project overseas. It just happened to be in India, where we went to a Panjai in Andhra Pradesh and worked with the government on making that Panjai defecation free. In a partnership with them, 50-50, we put bathrooms and toilets into every home in that Panjai. And they've proudly got a big sign outside the villages now saying, the first one defecation free in Andhra Pradesh, thank you to the Lions and the Follow Your Dream Foundation. So, but there are many examples, too many to spend time on here, of assisting women who are abused, kicked out of their homes by violent husbands, go to refuges, they go with nothing. And we used to give them small debit cards so they could go and buy some basics for the family. They could never buy alcohol or cigarettes. It had to be groceries. And a deal with the supermarket, two major supermarkets, that they knew that, and they could only buy basic essentials. But children going to university, we had sponsors or programs for children who have the abilities but not the cash to be able to afford university. And the first one we did the program with, she was deaf, and but she attended university and scored very highly. So those are the sort of things we tried to pick people who, for want of a better word, fell through the cracks in a lot of areas. And they couldn't be picked up by other organisations. They were just on their own. So that was the idea behind it. And the initial foundation grant, the multiple district was going to give me a gift at the end of my term. And I asked for that gift to go in to set up the foundation instead. So that's how the foundation got funded to start.
Wow, beautiful sharing, sir. Phenomenal work, phenomenal inspirational work. And I'm sure a lot of Lions all over the world can learn so much from this. Taking this further, sir, may I request our Lion friends to show us the next slide, which I think is the core of today's program. I've seen this slide so many times. It brings a smile to my face. Such a beautiful couple and such beautiful words written towards the bottom of the image. I like Barry sir and AP Singh sir both to kindly come on this. The message that we all know, when you as international president, it had 4 stages of that. Follow your dream, identify your dream, believe in your dream, share your dream, and most of all, follow your dream. Barry sir, first, can you just? This is phenomenal. It can change somebody's lives if you just follow the simple mantras, if I may use, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah. I guess we could relate it all back to an American who I have a lot of respect for, that stood in a park one day and said, "I have a dream." And
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, Martin Luther King.
Yes,
as I used to say at conventions, he didn't say, "I have a dream." He said, "I have a dream." And he said it with so much passion and enthusiasm. And I used to say he didn't ask for facts and figures. He just, "I have a dream." And we all have dreams. It doesn't matter who we are, whether the wealthy or the poorest. We all have dreams, whether it's to get children educated, whether it's to buy a better home, start a new business. We all have dreams. So my whole idea was for encouraging Lions to follow what was their dream, not mine, but theirs. So that's why we sort of identified it and work on it and make it achieve. And I still put things on Facebook even today about dreams and having dreams of what you want to achieve in life. So yeah, that's how it all started. And that was the background to it. We had a lot of input from a lot of people. I was the first president not to have a project. And now no presidents have projects, because that was one of my dreams as president, was to stop this annual thing every year where Lions were just getting involved in a project that was cut off. To me, that was crazy, waste of money, waste of time. let the Lions focus on what is important to them, and usually in their own communities. So that was what was behind it all.
Right,
And
sir.
we also we had a song too, which was done by a group called the Seekers, which was back in the day, and they had a song which used a lot of those words: keep the dream in your pocket, keep the dream in your heart, wherever it may
Wow.
lead you, follow your dream.
Wow.
So we had that as the background theme.
Beautiful, beautiful. If I may also get insights from AP Singh sir, the four key elements, if I may ask you, sir. A lot of people take a lifetime to simply identify their dream, and after that, if you feel it's too big, believing in the dream, and then sharing it with somebody. Can you just throw light on where, as human beings, where do we find our calling in life, and how do we do that?
Yes, I mean, that's the basic challenge, and each individual may approach it differently. But it's very important that you have somebody who shows the path, somebody who leads from the front end, who encourages you in that direction. I will give you a very short remind you, or maybe past President Barry Palmer would be reminded of this at one of the area forums in the world, because usually when the incoming presidents are there, they go to all the area forums, they speak to the incoming district governors. That's a special seminar for each incoming president. So there was one particular seminar which was on, and the incoming president was Barry Palmer, and his incoming governors are very inquisitive, very excited, and they all wanted to ask him, tell us about your program. And he said, okay, well, I will tell you about my program. And he asked many of them to rise and say what was going to be their dream as a district governor. What's your dream? What do you want to accomplish? What's your dream? And they were, kind of taken aback. And then he made it clear to them, well, my program is all about helping you make your dreams come true. So you will get all help and assistance from me, all support, and I will encourage Lions Club International to support you to do, but you must do everything now to really work towards the accomplishment of the dream. And that sent out a very strong message. That you say this is your dream, well, then follow that dream, do everything that you've got to do, stretch, go that extra mile, and we will be there to support you. And that's the direction which you and your entire team of Lions should then take in the district and move forward. So he exemplified that. And each individual, I remember in that particular session, went out so satisfied that that individual was not carrying the message of someone else's dream, but had become more assured of what the direction would be according to the ground realities, according to the persons involved, as to what the direction would be for the next Lionistic year. And past President Barry Palmer set it so very well. And that was the kind of leadership that he always brought. So that's exactly, narration of a real life, real life incident as to how you really work towards the accomplishment of your dreams.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Just involve,
And
just ask.
just one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Past President Barry Palmer always told me, and I'm sure he told many others, before you follow your dream, you've got to have a dream. The real challenge is, and I don't know if past President Palmer, whether you would like to narrate that famous speech about some leader, that 1 minute speech, go get a dream. I mean, that was so inspiring. I have never forgotten it. I will not. Maybe if you just take a minute to tell.
Yeah, please, sir. Please go ahead.
Let me take a minute, because that's all he spoke for.
Yeah.
It was past President Lloyd Morgan from New Zealand, and I was at Wellington at the ANZI Pacific Forum. Prior to the forum, there was a leadership training course, which I was one of the faculty members at. And as it was in New Zealand, and Lloyd was from New Zealand, they had invited him to come and speak to the audience with a motivational message. And you've got to understand, there was a musical many years ago called South Pacific, which you may or may not have heard of. And one of the songs in that musical was a Polynesian lady singing, and she was singing about a dream. And he related to that. And he said to the audience, you've all heard the musical, Go Get Your Dream. But if you haven't got a dream, how are you going to get a dream? So Lions, all I'm going to say to you is go get a dream, and walked off. And that was the end of his speech. Everybody just sat there stunned. But that was the start of me thinking about dreams and people having dreams. Because the song says, if you haven't got a dream, how do you make a dream come true?
Correct, correct. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm sure a lot of you listeners today are going to start dreaming and dreaming big, and follow up to be able to make the dreams come true. We are very fortunate that the Follow Your Dream Foundation has done phenomenal work in India as well. May I request our fellow Lions to kindly share a very interesting slide. This was something which happened during his year as international president in Kolkata. And this project, I'm sure, Alan Barry Ahmed sir, please throw lights on this, on the microfinance project, which has changed the life of so many women in India.
Yes, I had read the book done by an author from Bangladesh, whose name's just gone.
Muhammad Yunus.
Muhammad Yunus, that's it. And I became very enthused by that as to what could be achieved. So I gave the challenge to AP. I said, AP, we want to set up a microfinance program. And I want you to investigate and come back with some thoughts and ideas, which he did. He came back with the bank, which was, name's gone again.
Assam.
Assam, yeah. Assam. And fortunately, the manager there was very enthusiastic about joining with Lions. So we did a trial and it went very well. I think it was $100, was it US per loan? Or it wasn't that much, I can't.
Little more than that. They initially started with loans of $10,000 to $15,000 rupees per
That's right.
woman,
Yeah.
so around that.
Yeah. So, and from that, we developed other projects and programs led by AP, and I've forgotten the facts and figures now. I should have got them out, thinking you might have asked me that. But AP, starting from that initial, I guess, and so I'll go back again. We liked the setup of the bank because it was very similar to the Lions structure, with zone managers, region managers, district managers, clubs virtually within each little village of women who worked as a group with a president, a secretary, and a treasurer, all with the one idea of getting their children educated. That was their number one goal, all of them. When you speak to them, educate my children. But we started with the first group, and AP, you can probably now tell us how many have we helped so far?
Yes, and it's been a long journey. We started with a corpus of just around 50 lakhs of rupees, and that money was provided by the Lions. It didn't come from the districts. We had Lions from my multiple district. We had all our past directors. I mean, past directors Sangeeta Jatia, Prem Lahoti, Bishnu Bajoria, GS Sora, everybody chipping in. And we had some Lions chipping in with the money. So about 22 Lions got together, pitched in the money. So that corpus was created, provided to them, and they started rolling out the funds. And today we have a total provision that we've given them is about 2.5 crores. And it's more than 15,000 women have already been helped. And it's very professionally done. ASA runs it. They send us reports on a monthly basis. And in our multiple district, I'd really tell you, it's not me alone, it's everybody together, and we are all blessed. And LCI even did a film on the effects of the change in life of the individuals who have benefited from this. And that was an interview which was telecast, if I'm not mistaken, at the Chicago convention in one of the plenary sessions. And that interview was being done by PID Sangeeta. And I mean, everybody's involved. We are all very excited. And usually, sometimes you start a program with a tagline because you want a president to be happy. But all of us had promised past President Barry Palmer, that we are starting it and this will remain an ongoing program. So actually it's grown from 50 lakhs to 2.5 crores today, and it's running strong even today. It's even running strong today. And it's through the programs that, they have various other service, activities now that they have picked up ASA through their CSR funds, and they educate children, providing them coaching classes. So just very recently, when we lost past President Rohit Mehta, who's so very dear to us, we often relate to him as the father of Lionism in this country. In his memory, we donated 270 tabs to the children who are part of their coaching center to continue their education online. And that was also done again by the Lions of MD322, everybody coming together. So that's what we keep doing. And this is a story which is ongoing. And we are always grateful to President Barry Palmer, who initiated the idea, but inspired and challenged us. And we were very happy. But the best part of the story also, I must tell you, is President Palmer's gone to those villages personally. You will not believe an international president going to those homes in the villages where they do not have a sofa. It's out of question. If it's a chair, it may not have a handle. Sitting down there only with the women, talking to him and explaining to him, and somebody is translating them as to really what their needs are. And not once, he's done it at least thrice that I can immediately remember. And that's what inspired us, that if you really want to make a difference, you got to go to the bottom of the pyramid. And the entire leadership of MD322 got together. Of course, my first conversations that he had was with me, and I was trying to, get everybody together. But then beyond that, it was the entire leadership that got on together. So thank you, President. Thank you very much for that opportunity, inspiration, and that challenge. Thank you very much.
And it wouldn't have happened without you. Wouldn't have happened without AP. He made it happen.
Right. So the passion of PIP Lion Barry Palmer and the commitment of the Lions of India, especially from West Bengal, really made the impact in the community where Lions can really make a presence. We have another interesting story, not only from India, from another country. May I request a Lion friend to kindly share a small pic, which is a huge turning point in the life of Lions Club. In this picture, we see a lot of children sitting in the classrooms, and then we see a small little boy standing outside the classroom in Indonesia. And this was something, please, sir, can you explain what happened that day and what happened after that?
I was standing in the front of the classroom, and that's what I saw was several young boys standing at the back of the room. So I asked the Lions, I asked the teacher, what was with why are they standing out the back? And she said, well, they're not really students here, but they really want to come to school, but their parents can't afford it. And I said, well, how much does it cost? She said, oh, about 10 Australian dollars a month. And I said, what does that cover? And they said, oh, all their books and the uniforms and their fees, everything. They can be educated for $10 a month. So I went back home and I set up a program called Education Builds Bridges. And we started working with the Lions in Bangalore. No, not Bangalore, that's in India.
Indonesia.
In Indonesia. But the town up in the mountains was very close to my own club. They had been twinned years ago. So we went to the town there and said, this was the deal. We would raise the money, we would have the sponsors, but you have to be responsible for the distribution of the funds direct to the school, not through the family. And the children are not to receive any money. It's all got to go to the school. So they agreed to do that, and we set that up about 20 odd years ago. And I don't know how many thousands of children have gone through that program now. But part of the education is that they learn that lions are paid for it. And I walked into classrooms there, and then particularly in Jakarta, and Bandung was a city. And if you go into the classroom, the teacher says, stand up, all those children that are supported by Lions. And there'd be always 4 or 5 children that would stand immediately, they would know. but it was lions that were paying for them to go to school. And they learned about Western culture. It was part of their curriculum to see that trying to counteract the terrorists that were coming out of Indonesia, that they were not the bad people made out by the terrorists that they were. So it was a multi-purpose thing involved in it. Most of the children were Muslim, and that's okay. They were still being paid for by Christian Australians, and we had some sponsors in America and New Zealand and other places as well, which would pay their fees each year, and the money would be remitted back to Bandung, and the Lions would look after it. The lady that was running it for me actually has just retired. She was a member of my original club at Hornsby, and she just wanted to give it away. She wasn't well. So a local club here, which was the Lioness Club, was the first Lioness Club to sponsor a child. So they actually just recently changed over to be a Lions Club. So I went to their charter day and told them the story. Said I'm looking for a club to take over and run the project. Well, I was swamped. 2 clubs jumped up and raced to the front and said, we'll do it, we'll do it. I said, hang on. But fortunately, the program's going to keep going, and now Lions Club here, right near me, is going to be running the project, keeping it going. So yeah, these children are very special children that really wanted to learn.
Fantastic. So we have a real life example of a club in Australia who's sponsoring the education of children in Indonesia. And
Yep.
that's the vision of PIP Lion Barry Palmer. I mean, we have to think beyond boundaries. That is the idea that we have to live for.
You know, Indonesia was originally part of the Dutch East Indies, and the Dutch Lions from the Netherlands heard about the project, and they started another one exactly the same in another city in Medan, which is up near Singapore. And so the Dutch Lions had a project. So it became an international type project with 2 different countries supporting these children.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so we see Lion Barry Palmer was involved in issues like healthcare, where we have this fantastic work for pediatric cancer patients across women empowerment, microfinance, and now education of children in Indonesia. And that is why he was so deserving of, may I request our Lion friends to share the next slide. This is something which all of us are proud of, not only people of Australia, people of India. This is so very worthy. The Australian medal, it's equal to the Bharat Ratna in India, and we are so proud that somebody like you was bestowed with this honor, sir. Phenomenal achievement, and it's a pleasure for us that we have somebody like you on our show today.
And special day.
We have, besides your journey as a legendary Lion leader, you're also one of the most successful real estate directors in Australia. And we have this very interesting story of how you used to recruit your employees in your company. Can I request my Lion members to share another slide, which I'm sure are going to revive a lot of memories with Lion Barry Palmer, sir. A very interesting picture, sir, of Barry Palmer, sir, with this pen. So the story is that whenever Barry Palmer, sir, used to recruit anybody, there was no formal interview. He just used to pull out a pen from his pocket and ask the person, sell me this pen. And how many people actually sell that to you, sir? And when you heart, and I'm sure there must be a lot of crazy answers. You must have. Please tell us what happened.
Well, if they got a crazy answer, they didn't get a job. But probably the most successful one was the one used on the video of a young lady. She now runs her own office in the town where I recruited her to. She's the only office there now, and she's going very, very well. But all she did was look back at me, and because you know what sort of a pen it was, and Mont Blanc, and she said to me, Mr. Palmer, these are the Mercedes-Benz of pens. You want to be the best, you wear the best. And that was it. I said, you got a job.
Wow. Amazing. Super. Beautiful sharing, sir. We have another interesting slide. We know Barry Palmer, sir, is so very happening on social media. And he's got more than 20,000 followers on Facebook. And some of the best motivational messages that we see every day are from on his page. If you can dream it, then you can do it. And just today morning, if you can just zoom into what this is what Barry Palmer shared on his wall. Have big dreams, you will grow into them. So motivation is something which you can do. I mean, not necessarily on a public, I mean, a limited forum. I guess you're using the social media fantastic manner to be able to inspire people around the world. And Lions need to do that aggressively, you feel, sir?
Yeah.
In terms of getting the presence across communities.
Yeah, we do. We sell it by stories. And, you know, we tell the stories, and that's all you've got to do. Is just tell the stories of what in your community, what does your club do and why do you do it? And, you know, you just talk to people like that and they will want to become part of it. You know, it's fairly easy to do, but only 10% of our membership ever sponsor anybody to join. They make a fatal mistake, which a lot of salespeople make, is asking questions that require a yes or no answer. And if you said to somebody, do you want to join Lions? They automatically say no, because that's the way they've been trained to say no. But if you ask them, is there something you could do in your community, what would it be? They can't say yes or no, but they can give you an answer as to, we'll help the elderly, help the children, whatever it is. You can say, look, I'd like to introduce you to some people who think just like you do. So at no stage can you offer them the opportunity to say yes or no.
Wow, wow, beautiful, beautiful sharing, sir. We all know that Barry Palmer, sir, is a legendary Lion leader. He's an inspiration. He's a great motivator. He's a wonderful husband. He's a doting father. But the next picture, which I request my Lion friends to share, is my favorite pick of the day. Of all the achievements, I can say Lion Barry Palmer is a very, very good son. That's such a sweet picture with your mom, Sylvia. And I believe even today, you take time to be able to spend a lot of time with her. And please share something of your relationship with her, ma'am, how she's been able to influence your life.
Unfortunately, no, she passed away about 4 years ago. Just as soon as I finished my term as chairperson of the foundation, within months she passed away. And I kept saying, the old bugger, she hung on there till I was finished so she didn't cause me any problems while I was traveling. But she was just short of a 99th birthday and she had had enough. But yeah, we used to spend time together and chat about the old days. And my last words the night before she died was I just waved my finger at her and said, you behave yourself, as she laid in the bed. And she looked up and said, you behave yourself. And that was the last time we spoke, and she died that night. But yeah, she was a great inspiration for a lot of reasons, particularly in the community. She was a great advocate of volunteering in the communities, when we were at school, when in the sporting clubs, later on in old people's homes. When she was in her 80s, she was going to old people's homes to serve them meals, catching the train, walking home at night till I stopped her because she was only a tiny little thing. And I didn't want her getting hit over the head by some idiot. So I said, Mum, enough is enough. You're going to have to retire. And the government recognised her at the state level for her work in the communities, Red Cross. She did a lot of work for them as well. So I guess she was the one that gave me the, I guess I don't know what you call the attitude of volunteering.
Beautiful, beautiful. Such a wonderful soul, and may God bless her soul. May she all rest in peace. And wonderful sharing, sir. And the next pic that we're going to share is also, I believe, going to put a smile on your face. The two pictures are related to each other. We all know that you play the drums, and we have your wonderful better half, Annie, ma'am. And there's a story on how you met for the first time. So please.
They're related.
So please.
Yeah, I did play the drums in my younger days. And that's how we met. I was playing in a local band and playing at a school dance, and she was one of the students there, and we ended up having a dance on the floor and going out the next weekend. But that particular picture was actually taken in Italy and I hadn't played the drum for some 50 years. And
Oh.
they said to me, if you play the drums tonight, we'll give you a check for $10,000 for LCIF. So I said, okay, I'll build out a tune for $10,000 for a couple of minutes. And it's funny, they picked a red drum set, was exactly the same as what I used to play when I was younger.
Wow.
So,
Our beloved district governor is a fantastic singer. And I'm sure if somebody challenges, if you can sing for us tonight, we'll give you $10,000. I'm sure he's going to win $20,000. So I hope we have a challenge like this. And very soon, that's another innovative way of fundraising for our legendary leaders. That's a huge secret you've shared with us, sir. We all know you're somebody who loves sports. You've been the pioneer volunteer in the Sydney Olympics. As a young boy, you used to play a lot of sports, and you are passionate about cricket. And if I may ask you, sir, who is your favorite Indian cricketer?
Sachin Tendulkar.
And we have,
No
may I request
question.
our Lions, fellow Lions, to share this wonderful pic. And there's another secret that PIP Lion Barry Palmer shares his birthday with the legendary Sachin Tendulkar. That's 24th of April. So 24th of April was the day two legends were born. And both of them went on to create history in their respective chosen fields. So 24th April is a very important day, sir. We should mark it and remember it and celebrate all the wonderful work that you have done. We are moving towards the end of our program. It's been an absolutely honor. May I request our Lionsman to share one last pic, which is actually the essence of the wonderful conversation that we had today. All the wonderful words at the bottom of this beautiful pic: identify your dream, believe in your dream, share your dream, and most of all, follow your dream. That's what is the message that your life gives us. And I'm sure a lot of people all over the world today will be inspired to be able to identify the dream and then take it forward. So that brings us to the conclusion of today's wonderful, wonderful afternoon in India and an evening in Sydney. I believe absolutely we can go for an hour more. I have a lot of pictures, but I guess we'll have to stop somewhere. So I conclude today's wonderful show with a hearty word of thanks first to PIP Lion Barry Palmer, sir, for taking his time out and being with us today and blessing us all with his words of wisdom and an honor, sir. Absolute honor to have you on our show. Extremely grateful to PID Lion AP Singh, sir, for enriching us in the course of this program with all the wonderful experiences that he's had. And we hope to have him back on our show again and again. We can't have enough of you, sir. You'll have to keep coming back, if I may. Extremely grateful to our beloved dynamic district governor. I can say with all honesty, sir, he is my hero in Lionism. If I want to be anybody in Lionism, I want to be Lion Rakesh Chomal. I can say it anytime, everywhere. Extremely grateful to our senior advisor, Lion Surinder Sharma ji, for all the guidance that is given us to start a program like this. And he's been a huge motivator and a huge factor in pulling us through so far. Extremely grateful to past district one Lion Maneshwar Naik ji for all the wonderful motivation and constantly guiding us. Thank you to members of Lions Club of Chembur and Lions Club of Mankhurd, home clubs. And if I may request our technical team at the back to kindly switch on the videos so that we can formally thank them for all the wonderful. I just come and sit and talk, but there's an entire team which does all the ground research, data analysis, pictures, PPTs, and may I request a technical team if they can just kindly switch on their videos for a second so that we can acknowledge all the wonderful work that you do. We have the creative head of our show, Lion Rupesh Mehta, the genius who is a social media whiz. And it was only through Rupesh Mehta that we could contact Lion Barry Palmer. And today, he's on our show today. Thank you, Rupesh. And we have the producer of our show. That's my wife, Lion Rishi Oberoi. She's the boss. And the boss is always right. That's all I can say. We have our young team of digital quirkies. It's a new startup led by Lion. Lion मुझसे निकल गया. Neerta Prabhakar, तो अभी शायद Lion बनी जाएगी. And Anijut, who do all the technical stuff from taking from Zoom to Facebook and doing the social media marketing. And it's been absolute wonderful interacting with all of them. A very thankful, big thank you to all our respected dignitaries, all from all over the world, all Lions, PDGs, PIDs who have joined us. Extremely thankful, sir, for your gracious time and all our viewers. Next week, we have a very important guest from United States of America. That's Lion Mahesh Chitnis, who's going to join us, and he's going to guide us on how to tame lionism globally. So until, dear friends, we meet again, hoping that in this lockdown, hum sab hamesha swasth rahein, mast rahein, zabardast rahein. And if I can translate that for Barry sir, let us all stay happy and healthy forever. So I conclude this program with the words of Lion Barry Pamaza. It's never too late to follow your dream. Have you found yours? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for gracing this
Thank
wonderful.
you so much, PIP Barry Pamaza, sir.
Thank you so much. A
And
pleasure.
Pranam Adaniya PID Lion AP Singh, sir. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure and honor to have both of you on our show. So, dear viewers, thank you. And until we meet again next week, thank you. Good night and goodbye. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.